Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a new explainer, and we're looking at a genuinely fascinating, completely multifaceted medical career. We're going to unpack the professional profile of Dr. Osman El-Raya Omar Hasabla. Now, this is a figure whose work doesn't just sit in one box. It spans an incredible array of disciplines across the entire healthcare sector. It's a massive question, isn't it? What does it actually take to bridge the gap between traditional clinical medicine, complex pharmaceutical regulation, and this emerging, exciting frontier of holistic wellness? I mean, most medical professionals spend their entire lives mastering just one of those domains. But today, we're looking at a profile that impressively spans all three, weaving these entirely distinct areas of healthcare into one cohesive career. Okay, let's dive into this. To decode his complex professional title, we're going to use 5 pillars as our roadmap. First, the multi-hyphenate medical professional. Second, his foundational clinical expertise. Third, navigating pharma and regulations. Fourth, functional medicine and longevity. And finally, his growing digital footprint. So, starting right off with pillar number 1, the multi-hyphenate medical professional, unpacking the biography. Seriously, just look at this staggering list of titles straight from his channel bio. He's an internal medicine specialist, a pharmaceutical and healthcare physician, a medical advisor, a regulatory affairs expert, and a clinic manager. But wait, it doesn't stop there. He also lists himself as a wellness and longevity enthusiast, a functional medicine advocate, and an aesthetic care explorer. It's like a giant puzzle of specialties. It's an incredibly rich tapestry that really hints at a relentless curiosity and a massive scope of practice. Which brings us to pillar 2. Foundational clinical expertise, the core of practice. So the crucial point is that beneath all those varied titles lies the absolute bedrock of his career. His roles as an internal medicine specialist, or a general internal medicine doctor, and clinic manager serve as his clinical anchor. He's fundamentally trained in comprehensive, direct adult patient care, dealing with complex diagnoses, while simultaneously managing the day-to-day administration of a healthcare facility. He really truly understands the realities of the clinic. All right, moving on to pillar 3, navigating pharma and regulations, the industry bridge. Now, this is where his career extends beyond the 4 walls of the clinic. By adding tags like pharmaceutical and healthcare physician, regulatory affairs expert, and medical advisor to his resume, he's showing a deep understanding of the strict, highly systematic rules that govern medical treatments. Because you see, this isn't just about prescribing a drug. It's about understanding exactly how that drug gets approved in the first place, how compliance actually works, and the overarching strategy of massive healthcare systems. And this brilliantly illustrates what makes Dr. Hasablah's profile so entirely unique. It's actually quite rare to find a single practitioner who seamlessly combines bedside patient-level care with high-level pharmaceutical industry oversight. He essentially possesses both the micro perspective of individual health and the macro perspective of industry regulation. Pretty cool, right? Let's transition to pillar 4, functional medicine and longevity, the future focus. These are the really forward-looking identifiers from his bio. As a functional medicine advocate and longevity enthusiast, his focus clearly shifts toward root cause health and extending the healthy human lifespan, rather than just, treating symptoms as they pop up. And when you toss in his role as an aesthetic care explorer, it becomes obvious he's deeply invested in systemic wellness, helping people not just live longer, but actually look and feel optimal while doing it. So when we weigh these elements against each other, a really fascinating dichotomy emerges. On one hand, you have the traditional, highly systemic worlds of internal medicine and regulatory affairs. But then, on the other hand, you have the holistic, future-focused realms of functional medicine and aesthetics. He's balancing the rigid, evidence-based structures of modern healthcare with the expansive, super-personalized approaches of tomorrow's wellness. Finally, let's look at pillar 5, a growing digital footprint, cataloging a career. So, how exactly does a professional with such vast experience share his knowledge online? Well, the number 13 represents his total number of YouTube video uploads under his specific handle. It's a nascent but steadily growing digital catalog where he's just beginning to document his journey. And right now, that channel sits at just 3 subscribers. It's actually a fascinating contrast, isn't it? A doctor with this massive, highly decorated, real-world resume, basically starting entirely from scratch online. We are literally seeing the raw initial steps of his digital journey as he carves out his own space in the digital landscape. When we map out the timeline of this digital activity, we see a distinct pattern emerge. His initial uploads hit the platform on December 3, 2025. Then, just a couple of weeks later, on December 16, he reached his highest view count so far. The momentum continued right into the new year with uploads around January 9, 2026, and his most recent recorded activity stretches into the spring on April 18, 2026. So it's a really concentrated, energetic burst of content creation. Now, what's really interesting about these numbers is the viewership data. It's fascinating to see how the audience engagement fluctuates. A December 16 video peaked at 408 views, which honestly is remarkably solid for a brand new channel with single-digit subscribers. He maintained strong interest in January with over 300 views, and his latest spring video held steady near 280. But contrast that with a quiet early upload on December 6th that only pulled in 11 views. You can really see a creator dynamically experimenting with what resonates with an audience. One particularly notable piece of this whole content puzzle is a video simply titled Dr. El Memories. This specific title strongly suggests that right now, his platform is acting as a hybrid space, meaning it's not just a professional showcase of his medical expertise, it's also serving as a personal archive, a place to document and preserve his ongoing journey for himself and others. But make no mistake, he is highly accessible. Despite the small subscriber count, his profile is extremely well connected for direct outreach. He provides a direct WhatsApp link, along with connections to 3 additional platforms. So he is deliberately positioning himself to be available for patient consultations, professional networking, the whole shebang. Which leaves us with this final thought. We've seen a profile that bridges incredibly different worlds today. As medicine continues to rapidly evolve, will the most effective doctors of the future be exactly this kind of multi-hyphenate? The practitioners who can master both the stringent regulated rules of big pharma while simultaneously pioneering the expansive, personalized frontiers of holistic longevity. It's a fascinating question, and Dr. Hasaballah's career gives us a really compelling preview of what that future might look like. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.